I am Gids, and today I am filming a sit-down video where I'm just gonna have a really chilled chat with you guys. You guys are my friends, and yeah, I just thought, I got my cup of coffee here. Let's talk about fragrance. I'm gonna tell you what fragrances I've tried this week, what I'm loving, and what I tried and didn't really enjoy as much and why. So let's talk about fragrances, because I went out yesterday to sample some fragrances. I was like, I need to just relax and try out some new fragrances and get inspired. The first place I went to was Liberty London. I should have vlogged it, but I wasn't in the vlogging mood for some reason. But I'm having a bit of a Diptyque moment, guys, and I saw the Diptyque counter, and that was the first place that I went to. And there are 3 fragrances that I checked out that I'm kind of feeling at the moment. 2 of them more so than the last one, but I'm going to talk about the first 2 that I loved. The first one is Eau Duelle from the house of Diptyque. As I said, this is a very kind of realistic bourbon vanilla fragrance. It has some nice bourbon vanilla. It's got some spices. I think there's a note of incense in it. So it's a very beautiful, elegant, smooth, natural smelling vanilla fragrance, which is a stunner. It's not a powerhouse fragrance, but that's okay. I'm okay with that. It is one which you can smell around you. It creates a nice bubble around you, but you're not going to get a beast mode projection out of that fragrance. But I definitely smelled it when I sampled the fragrance. The next one is called Eau Capitale. I think it's Eau Capitale, or is it Le Capitale? But this is a rose patchouli fragrance with some woody facets in the fragrance as well. A little bit of greenness and just a little bit of sweetness. Initially, this fragrance, when I tried it, I was like, what does this remind me of? Portrait of a Lady. However, this to me is a little bit more, it's a little bit easier to wear than Portrait of a Lady. I feel like Portrait of a Lady is a very loud, bombastic fragrance. I love the word bombastic, but it's a very bombastic rose patchouli fragrance with that clove and cinnamon note and a little bit of incense in it as well. It's a very powerful fragrance, but the Eau Capitale just felt a little bit greener, a little bit easier to wear, and a bit more daytime than Portrait of a Lady. But I still wear Portrait of a Lady daytime. But yeah, Eau Capitale and Eau Duelle, definitely put a tick for those 2 fragrances. The other one I tried from Diptyque is called Oud Palao. This is a rose oud fragrance. I think there's also some incense and vanilla in the fragrance. Now, again, I smelled this fragrance and I thought, what does this remind me of? And initially it was Oud Isfahan from Dior, from the Maison Dior collection, which is, to me, that's a very iconic fragrance for the private line of Dior. I think, in fact, it's their bestseller. And yeah, so I'm not really sure if I would prefer the Oud Isfahan from Dior, just because I feel that rose oud is a bit more refined, and I'm not saying that the Diptyque Oud Palao isn't, but it's just a bit smoother and rounded than Oud Palao. Then I skipped over to the Byredo counter, and there was a few I wanted to try. Now, they have a newer fragrance called Young Rose, and the only Byredo fragrance that I currently have is Rose of No Man's Land, which I absolutely love. It's a fresh interpretation of a youthful rose fragrance. It has this nice raspberry note in the fragrance. It's a bit fresh and sweet and musky. It's beautiful. Really love that fragrance. And I thought, okay, Young Rose sounds like it might be promising. Unfortunately for me, it was very underwhelming. There was nothing interesting about the fragrance or different about the fragrance. And yeah, it was quite disappointing. It was not very long lasting. Nothing about it stood out, and I tried on skin. This was actually in Selfridges a week ago, but I also went back yesterday to try this again on card, and yeah, it just didn't do it for me. So that one was an unfortunate no. But while I was at the Byredo counter yesterday, I tried Mumbai Noise, which was a new release. I think it came out last year from Byredo, and then the name of the fragrance really kind of caught me, and I thought, oh, that sounds interesting. It is an interesting fragrance. So it has some oud, I think it's got some coffee, some spices. It's nice, but again, there was something about it that wasn't working for me. I don't know why. yeah, I don't know, the oud and the coffee seemed like they were kind of battling with each other. I don't know, I think it maybe needed a little bit of sweetness just to balance the fragrance out a bit more. Just my opinion, that's my initial opinion of smelling the fragrance. I don't know. Anyway, if you guys have tried this, please tell me what you think as well. Okay, the next ones I want to talk about. The next house I tried was, I think it's called Nosamatto. Now, these fragrance bottles are very uniquely shaped. They have a very small, I'll put a picture in so you guys can see, but I've always looked them online and thought, wow, very interesting looking fragrances. Sorry, let me just have a quick sip of my coffee. And the ones I tried was, I tried Baronda, which is a very boozy, kind of sweet, interesting fragrance. So it has a note of whiskey in the fragrance, and I really love this fragrance. It was very different to anything I tried because I am going through this phase of liking boozy fragrances. I don't know why. But I tried Boronda and I was quite impressed. It is also a very powerful fragrance. So I think the idea of how small those fragrances are is because they're very strong and very rich fragrances from my understanding. But yeah, I really loved Boronda, and apparently it means chaos in Italian. So this is an Italian house. So it has some rose, ambre, whiskey, ambroxan. To me, it smells very sexy and very mature and very different, and it's a very strong and powerful fragrance. So yeah, I may revisit it in the future. I don't think I'd purchase it anytime soon, but it's definitely one that has caught my radar. I tried the Killian liquors collection as well, which is the ones that a lot of people on YouTube seem to recommend a lot. So Angel Share, I think there's Apple Brandy, there's quite a few. I like what the line is about, but it doesn't really do it for me. The only one I think I like from that is Angel Share. I tried all of them, and I don't know, there's the one that I think just came out. I can't remember the name of it, but it just literally smelled like alcohol, but there's a type of alcohol I'm referring to, like it smelled a bit like licorice as well, and I don't know, for me that didn't really work. Anyway, so yeah, that's what I've been trying, that's what I've tried. Have you guys tried any of these Diptyque fragrances, or the Byredo, or the Nosamatto fragrance, Baronda? Yeah, let me know in the comments below. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll be back for more. I will hopefully try to do some vlogs as well. And if there's any other types of videos that you would like me to film, then do let me know. I've written a list of some video recommendations and suggestions that I've had going back some months as well. So I will hopefully film those very soon, but I hope you're all doing well, and I will talk to you all very soon. Take care, guys.